What's going on, guys? It's Nick from DMG Lacrosse, and today I'm going to do a tutorial on how to show you how to do the Thompson top string. I don't know if you exactly call it the Thompson top string, but some people refer to it as a 9-diamond drop top string. I've heard many different variations, but if you want to get official, this is the exact replica of what Lyle Thompson used at Albany. His older brother, Jerome, strung this for him in this exact fashion. This is a complete stick on the nose. But what makes this really different, as opposed to some of the other top strings that you normally see on a stick, is that let me try to zoom in a little bit closer. Is that on the top, right here? Let me flip it around the other way. Actually, excuse me. On this side. If I can get in close enough, the normal flap, as you see right here, would normally be connected to string. So it would be diamond to string to plastic. But with this, if I flap it down just a little bit more and I push down on it, you can actually notice that it actually floats. So it does not tie directly in. It actually comes underneath. And I'm going to show you on a CEO exactly how to do it. So before I do that, I'm just going to slow-mo this one across so you can see it. It's a lot easier to do it on a Warrior Nas because there is 6 holes of top string to work with. On the CEO, as there's actually 8, but I'm only going to use 4. So I'm going to show you a little different modified version. What it is going to accomplish is that you will not have to you can, number one, you can see the top string, and 2, it resists abrasion. It's a really cool look, actually, and if you get good at it, you might actually even enjoy it on your stick. It's done very, very tight, and it's very efficient. This is how the front looks. Normally, like I said, nobody really uses these tops, these strings up here, but they're used. So if you're doing a Nas, you have to do these. I guess you don't have to. If you want to do a triangle top string, you can. It's just not, it doesn't matter, because if you look at the amount of length between the mesh and the lip, it's so tight that you really don't need it. It's just not called for. So let me just put the Nas down. I'm going to take down, kind of looks like I'm actually using a GoPro camera, but I actually mounted my iPhone on top of the bottom of my shaft. Kind of cool. So I got the CEO right here, ready to go, and let's do the top string. I just took the what do you call it? The regular triangle top off. It already has a pocket in it, so we're just going to do the top string, and I'm going to show you how to do it. I already started it. I'm going to use blue so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. If you notice on the top, you start just with a regular, I'll get this into focus, there we go. You get it just directly, regular 9-diamond wraparound, and then you bring it around into the middle of this, so it's actually coming through this way. And then what you do is you take the string and you push it actually through that hole, and then just kind of leave this little sagging a little bit, and then you just do a regular knot on this hole. So it's not really complicated. Go in, pull it down, under, just like that. Do this pretty tight. So as you can see, it's already pulling that up. So you do that pretty tight. Right? Just going to hold that with my hand. And what you're going to do on the other side is obviously you just go underneath it, around, so you get that nice point, and then you come back through this angle right here on the other side, like you would do on a normal top string. And it's just like that normal knot like you see on normal heads, except now you notice that there is no, the mesh is not attaching to the plastic like it was pulled up over like that. It's not going to be like that. Um, and I'm going to show you in a second. As I pull the string back through here, and if you spread it out and you just pull it, that's what it's going to look like, just like that. Hopefully you can focus in and see that. And it works out really good. On the other side, it would look exactly like that. You can do it the reverse way to make it cleaner on the other side. You can actually even add a triangle to this, but I don't recommend it. It would actually just kind of screw it up in a way, and I'm going to show you in a second, because normally when you would go to the next hole, you would just do it, but you don't want to leave this exposed. So what you're going to want to do is kindly feed that string back through underneath that hole, just like so, and keep it underneath the lap, just like this. So you keep it underneath. Just going to pull it a little bit. Keep that underneath. Just keep it up, and it still stays up, just like that. So keep it under these, and we're going to use this diamond hole now to this hole up here. So just like we did before, pull it underneath. As you can see, it's under that flap. It's under both of them, like that. Pull it through, go over top of the plastic underneath, and pull that down across pretty tight. Let's fix that a little bit. So that just goes down, across, and tight. I like to put my finger here. It kind of keeps the tension somewhat pretty good, because you're gonna have to come back around with the loop anyway, obviously. So you go back around the plastic, down, and you got to go through that loop, and you pull it down and tight, and then bring it obviously back underneath the plastic. The mesh diamond hole to make it tight. You might notice that it might not line up as perfectly on the CEO. On any other head it would line up. This needs to just get pulled down, but as you can see, in any other head it would look absolutely perfect. This is the only head that I had to use, but nonetheless you can just kind of yank it, but after you're done stringing it, it will actually come out pretty even, so it doesn't really matter. So all you do again is come back through, lift this up, pull that through there, get through, there we go, and then you skip obviously this one, and then we're going to go on to this hole, and then you bring it underneath again through here. So I'm sure you guys get the idea by now. So around and down and over. And that's going to bring this one up pretty high. Not really that high, but it's going to bring it up pretty decently. This one actually just try not to get it to get right when you see this actually coming up is when you want to stop, because you don't want to go over like this and have to go over any kind of mesh. So you want to just kind of keep it just right underneath. Put your finger right there and come back around. It's a pretty effective top string. Starting to use it. I've used this on, I have it on the NOS, and I have it on the optic. I took the triangle out and did it this way, and I like it a lot better. It works out a lot cleaner, I think, in my opinion. And then, like I said, you go back under. There you go. And as you can see, pull it, as you can see, get it back in frame. As you pull it, look at you got. Very nice and tight, and it's right underneath there. So it's actually not touching. This is floating. So, and what will happen is this won't stick up straight. This will actually flap down, like the other diamond will. And some of them will, like this one right here, decided not to, but that's just how you do it. Most of them, if you do it right, it'll come down like this if you're doing so. Then you go over to this hole right here, but obviously keeping it under the mesh, under the diamond loops. So you just kind of just yank that up just a little bit like that. Pull that right back through underneath, so it's just kind of laying under. And then I'm gonna do the last knot and then tie it off, and then you're pretty much all done. So it's relatively easy, and once you get it going, it'll just become second nature. I'm sure when everyone tried the triangle top string, it took them some time. It took me some time, and once you get this done and you know how to do it properly, you'll get it done in about 5 minutes. It'll just be second nature. So it's not really too much to it. I'm sure this wasn't invented by Jerome, but it was put on Lyle's stick on his nose. So yeah, that's pretty nice and flush. It's important to make these flush, as they look. So yeah, this is the last one that we have to do, and we just pull it back under here, pull it across. I like to kind of go up and pull, you know what I mean? Kind of like that. And as you can see, as I did that, this wants to kind of just flap down. Normally, sometimes it stays up, sometimes it stays down. Doesn't really matter. As long as it's not exposed, and as that's what you can see, is that none of that string is exposed. So when you go for ground balls, the mesh is what's going to hit. The string is going to last a very long time and be very, very tight. So that's the important thing. So we're going to keep this back. We'll go through one more mesh hole, and then we're going to tie it right off, and that's pretty much the tutorial for the top string. And like I said, you can call it whatever you want. You can call it a 9-diamond triangle, 9-diamond drop top string. Call it pretty much whatever comes to mind. So once it's under here, under these two little rows right here, kind of floating right like that, you just go around to the top hole. That's how I did my top string. I assume if you did it any lower, it would I don't think it would look as good, so I would do the top string on the top hole. So you just go around that first one again. Just lift that up. Actually, excuse me, I screwed that one up. It's actually supposed to go inside to here. Sometimes I mess up time to time, but let's fix that. Tying it off sometimes is a little bit of a pain in the neck, but it's important you just keep that little part up, little devil horn or whatever you want to call it, and then you just pull your string back through, just like that, keeping it above the sidewall string. Then you bring it around to the other side, and then just pull it through a little hole. If you need needle nose pliers, grab them, but on this head, the holes are pretty big, so you don't really need to. I can just fit it through with my finger. So I'm back through on the other side. Oh, it's falling out. I'm back through on the other side. And we're pretty much done. So I'm just going to tie that off just like that. And let me just make a nice knot on it. Again, this is just a tutorial. This isn't perfect, so I would probably not be holding the camera as I string the lacrosse stick, but just for all intents and purposes, you just need to put a single knot on top of it. You don't really need a double unless you really want to get too crazy, but as you can see, through the head, it starts off, and it does not show any bit of sidewall going anywhere through. It's always looping underneath the mesh. And it's important to have these lined up as best as you can. They don't have to be exactly perfect, but as long as they're within the genre, it's okay. So hopefully I didn't make this into a very, very long tutorial, but I think it was important to show you guys how to do this. I'm getting a lot of requests. So this might not look exactly like that, but if you do have like a surgeon or a clutch or an Evo X, I know the Evo X has these little small holes at the top, so you can even do that on it. The Evo X6, a couple other heads you can accomplish this on. So I don't know. So that's both heads getting into frame. So that's pretty much it. So that's the, you can just snip this off after you're done, and then you got the pocket. So I mean, it might not look, like I said, really crazy. I mean, it's not a fashion statement. It's just a statement to do a top string a different way. Instead of having the string going directly across, it would just pick up abrasions and, you know, eventually die out, depending on how, you know, the surface you use it on. Pick up a lot of ground balls. Not gonna have to worry about it. This one just comes up. It's just gonna slide right off. So hopefully you enjoyed the tutorial. If you guys like to see any more of them, or if you have different ones you'd want to see me stringing a lacrosse stick, just a regular stick, I could probably do it. So just let me know. And hopefully you like this video. Toss it a like, rate, comment, subscribe, and check out Instagram. As like I said, I throw a lot of stuff on there so people can see. So that's pretty much it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Hopefully you enjoyed the tutorial as much as I liked giving it to you. And yeah, so again, that's what it looks like on a NAS S. Sorry, the sunlight's coming in, but that's what it looks like on a NAS S. If you do it in white, make sure, if you're doing it on a NAS, make sure you use all 6 holes. If you're doing it on a 4-hole head that only has 4 holes, you can get away with just doing the 4 like I showed you, and you'll accomplish this. And I think you will really like the results. So that's pretty much it. And take this off the thing, put that on the ground, and that's it. So put the other stick next to it. Hopefully the camera doesn't fall off. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.